பெற்ற அனங்கை கண்ட அயலாரூரில் அஞ்சிலே ஒன்றை வைத்தான் அவன் நம்மை அழித்து காப்பான். ஜானகி காந்த ஸ்மரணம் ஜெய ஜெய ராம ராமா. ஆஞ்சநேய சுவாமி கி ஜெய். சத்குரு மகாராஜ் கி ஜெய். By the divine grace of our beloved Guru Maharaj, the divine couple Madhuri Sakhi Sameda Premika Veda Thakurji, Shri Padmavati Nayika Sameda Shri Aishwarya Srinivasa Perumal, we are into the concluding day of our Ramayana series, and it is a great fortune and great blessings by our Guru and Bhagavan that we are able to tell Sri Rama Katha with the basis of Valmiki Ramayanam and also following Sri Kamba Ramayanam and the Tulsi Ramayanam. So yesterday, Anjaneya Swami met Sita Devi in Ashokavanam. It was a tiring effort for Anjaneya Swami, but it is mentioned by Valmiki Bhagavan that he didn't feel any tired at all. So crossing the ocean of 900 miles is a very tough task. Even if we go in a ship or even if we go in a plane, it would be really difficult and tough, but he travelled it. And he searched for Sita Devi in each and every corner of Ravana's Lanka, and he couldn't find her anywhere. And finally, he got an idea, he got the thought that it is not something that I am searching for. It is, I am searching for Sakshat Jagannatha herself. And that being the case, it is not because of my efforts that I would be able to find her or see her. Jagannatha should bless me so that I could have her darshan. So that being the case, he prayed to Sita Mata, Devyai Chatasya Janakatmajayi. So in his mind, in his heart, he constructed a beautiful temple for Sita Devi with Ramachandra Prabhu and Lakshmanalwar being the two Dwarapalakas there. So Namostu Ramaya Salakshmanaya Devyai Chatasya Janakatmajayi. And for a temple there should be Prakara Devatas. So all other Devas are considered as Prakara Devatas for this temple. So Namostu Rudrendra Yamanilebhyo, Namostu Chandratma Maruttanebhya. And on doing this prayer, praying to Sita Mata, finally Sita Mata gave him her darshan to Anjaneya Swami, and immediately he saw Ashokavanam. And when he entered that beautiful Ashokavanam, he could see Sita Mata there. And immediately the first thought, what would have come to Anjaneya Swami? The first thought that he would be really happy to convey this news immediately to Ramachandra Prabhu, who is miles apart. It's not just in the next street or in the next house, or at that time we don't have any phones or any emails are not possible. So the immediate thought that came to Anjaneya Swami was that he should convey it immediately to Rama. But there is no way or scope for that. So immediately through his mind itself, he did that prarthana, Jagana Manasarama Prashashamsachatam Prabhu. He immediately had the bhavam of immediately conveying it to Ramachandra Prabhu, and in his mind itself he enjoyed the pleasure that Ramachandra Prabhu would have enjoyed when he would have conveyed this news. So it is mentioned as Jagama Manasarama. In his mind he travelled. It is even faster compared to actually for that person to travel. But even Anjaneya Swami's speed is considered greater than the speed of mind. It is Manojavam Maruta Tulya Vegam. He is greater than the speed of mind, it seems. So for him, in his mind, he is travelling to Ramachandra Prabhu would also mean slower. So Jagama Manasaramam Rashasamsacha Tam Prabhu. And immediately, till now, he has seen Ramachandra Prabhu from the day he met him in Kishkinda. From the day he met him in Kandam, he has seen Ramachandra Prabhu. He has a great jnanam of Ramachandra Prabhu's form. He has realized all the qualities of Ramachandra Prabhu, and he kept Ramachandra Prabhu at a very high position in his mind, and the way in which he respected him and the devotion that he showed to Rama. And the moment when he saw Sita Devi today, the position and the stature and the status that he gave for Ramachandra Prabhu immediately reduced. He is mentioning that the way in which Ramachandra Prabhu cried and suffered for Sita Devi's separation is not enough, it seems. So the way in which he cried and he suffered was not enough. He says, Dushkaram Kritavan Ramaha Hino Yajanaya Prabhu Dharayati Atmano Deha. On seeing Sita Devi, on seeing her chastity, on seeing her qualities, on seeing her divine form, and seeing the ages that she represents, Anjaneya Swami gets the thought that the day when Ravana abducted Sita Devi, that day itself Ramachandra Prabhu should have died. Why is he still alive? So, the sorrow with which Ramachandra Prabhu stayed is not justified at all. So, he doesn't accept that. He says, Dharayat Yatmano Deham. How can he still live? How can he still be alive? And he's just thinking about Sita Devi. So, the cry and the sorrow of Ramachandra Prabhu is not enough. Dharayat Yatmano Deham na shokena avasidate. His shokam and his sorrow and his cry are not enough at all. Because he keeps Sita Devi in an even higher state. That is why this is explained in Kamba Ramayanam that evil Kambala Chalviye. So after seeing Sita Devi only, he realizes Ramachandra Prabhu as Bhagavan. So till now he has been spending his entire time with Ramachandra Prabhu and he was doing close proximity service to Ramachandra Prabhu. At that juncture he couldn't identify that he is Bhagavan. After seeing Sita Devi, after understanding that she is Jagannatha, after understanding that she is Lakshmi Pirati herself, now Anjaneya Swami is confirmed, okay, now Ramachandra Prabhu is Bhagavan. So, till now he has been spending his time with him, he couldn't identify it or he couldn't find it. But now after seeing Sita Devi, he immediately understands that should be. So that since Sita Devi is Jagannatha, he is Jagannatha. So that being the case, Anjaneya Swami is really enjoying and he is so happy for the efforts that he put and the blessings and the bhagyam that he got to see Sita Mata, and he says, Yadi Ramaha Samudrantam Medinim Parivartayet Asya Hetoho Jagatchapi Yuktamityeva Mematihi. Why is still Ramachandra Prabhu sitting there in Drishyamukam? And if he wants to get this Sita Devi back, in order to get this Sita Devi back, he can even eliminate all the 7 worlds. That is also he could do. Yadi Ramaha Samudrantam, he can remove all the oceans, he can remove all the mountains in order to obtain Sita Devi back. So even if he could change the entire dimension of the world, even he could go to an extent of eliminating the entire universe itself for the sake of Sita Devi. Asyaha heto jagatchapi yukta nityeva mematihi. So the characteristic that Sita Devi shows makes Anjaneya Swami to speak this way. And he says, Kshiti Kshama Pushkara Sannivakshi Ya Rakshita Raghava Lakshmanabhyam Sarakshasibhihi Vikrutekshanaabhihi Samrakshate Samprati Vrikshamule. For 8 months now, Sita Devi is being undergoing all the tortures and all the difficulties there in Lanka. And Anjaneya Swami sees that how could she endure all these things? How could she still be alive? Kshiti Kshama. And I understand that he concludes that it is because of the quality of her mother. See, she is having the same traits of her mother, that is Bhumi Devi. So Kshiti Kshama, Bhumi Devi has the greatest patience in the world. Otherwise she is holding all of us in this world and all the things that we do and all the bharam and all the weight that we put. There are a lot of mountains, there are a lot of oceans, there are a lot of people, there are a lot of buildings. So we drill the world, we drill Bhumi Devi and all these things are done and still she is patience. So if you see Kshiti Kshama, her patience is what is inbuilt in Sita Devi also. That is why she could also endure all these difficulties and all these problems here and she is still holding her breath. Kshiti Kshama Pushkara Sannivakshi. And in each place in the forest she was being protected by Ramachandra Prabhu and Lakshmana. Ya Rakshita Raghava Lakshmanabhyam. So when Ramachandra Prabhu entered into the dense forest, the first instruction that he gave to Lakshmana was that we should safeguard Sita Devi. So that is our primary priority. So what we do, one, Sita Devi should not be left alone. So she should always be protected. So you travel first, then in the middle be Sita Devi and at the end I will come. Or else it will be the opposite. So I will be in the front, Sita will be in the middle and you will be at the last. So this is the way in which we used to travel and nowhere we should leave Sita Devi alone. So Ya Rakshita Raghava Lakshmanabhyam. When Rakshasa called Viratha abducted Sita Devi earlier, immediately Rama and Lakshmana ran and chopped off his head, chopped off his hands and protected her. Ya Rakshita Raghava Lakshmanabhyam. And when they further entered into the forest, there came Surpanaka. When Surpanaka came, she was about to kill Sita Devi. Ramchandra Prabhu ordered Lakshmana to chop off her ears and nose. Ya Rakshita Raghava Lakshmanabhyam. And when they were fighting the 14,000 Rakshasas, Karadushana, Ramchandra Prabhu safely went and kept Sita Devi inside a cave and placed Lakshmanadwar as a security in front of the cave, and only then he came for war. It seems so. Ya Rakshita Raghava Lakshmanabhyam. And then finally, when the Maricha disguised himself as a golden deer, at that time also, when Sita Devi asked Ramchandra Prabhu for it, he asked, specifically mentioned to Lakshmana that whatever may be the circumstances, whatever may happen, you should not leave her at any cost. That is the way in which they were protecting Sita in all the occasions. So, Ya Rakshita Raghava Lakshmanabhyam, each and every situation, these two people, Rama and Lakshmana, were protecting her, and now she is all alone. Ya Rakshita Raghava Lakshmanabhyam, and now she is surrounded by other people. Sa Rakshasi Bihi Vigrudekshana Bihi, fully she is covered entirely by Rakshasis. And in one chapter, Valmiki Bhagavan gives a detailed description of all the Rakshasis who are present. So each one Rakshasi had only one eye, one ear, so she had only half nose. So her eyes were below the nose, so he describes them in different ways. So Ya Rakshita Raghava Lakshmanabhyam Sa Rakshasi Bhihi Vigrudekshana Bhihi. So their Rupam are very Vigrutam. So that being the case, Sa Rakshasi Bhihi Vigrudendanakshibihi Samrakshate Samprati Vrikshamule. And this Sita Devi, and this covered by all those, surrounded by all those Rakshasis, she is all alone. Samrakshate. And what is protecting her? Something should protect her, right? So something should be protecting her for all these 8 months, because each and every time Ravana will be coming and speaking some cruel and harsh words to her. All the Rakshasis would be troubling her. And she doesn't know which place she is surrounded by, what is the place in which she is, and where Ramachandra Prabhu is he making any efforts to attain her. It has been 8 months now, and still which is protecting her. Samrakshate. So something should be protecting her, right? So Samrakshate Samprati Vrikshamule. So behind under that tree she is sitting, and which is protecting her. Immediately if you go to Kamba Ramayanam, he beautifully explains, Arumaye Arumaye Yaridu Atruvar Orumaye Yammainotu Urai Karpalado. He gives the answer for which is protecting her. He says, Dharma me katado. So I think it is only Dharma that is protecting her. When Rama and Sita Devi, when they went to the forest, the first Mangala Shasanam that was done by Kausalya Devi. So you are trying to protect the Dharma, and you want to follow the Dharma in whatever situation or hindrances that come for you. So let that Dharma protect you. So I think that Dharma, that Mangala Shasanam, what Kausalya Devi did, is protecting Sita Devi. It seems so. Dharma me katado. Or whether it is Ramachandra Prabhu's Dharmam, Yam Palayasi Dharmam Tvam Prityacha Niyamenacha Savai Raghava Shardula Dharmaswam Abhirakshato. Or else it is Ramachandra Prabhu's Dharma and Satyanishta, and his righteousness is what is protecting Sita Devi. It seems so. Dharma me katado. But Valmiki Bhagavan says, it is not because of Kausalya's Mangala Sasanam, it is not because of Ramachandra Prabhu's following his dharmas, it is not because of the great punyas that Janaka Maharaja has done. Svena Vrittena Rakshita Karpin Kavalo. That is where he comes and finishes. So it is Dharma me katado, Sanakan Nalvinai Karma me katado, Karpin Kavalo. Her chastity is protecting her. So it is mentioned as Svena Vrittena. It is not because of the aid of Rama's Dharma. It is not because of Kausalya's Mangala Sasanam. It is not because of the punyas that Janaka has done. It is because of Sita Devi's own Dharma. Svena Vrittena Rakshita. Even in this situation, she is not pushed or moved by all the wealth and all the riches and everything that Ravana shows. Finally, in Yuddha-kandam, Ravana is mentioning that generally ladies have a quality called the chapalam. It is Ravana's mentioning. And he is mentioning that whatever, if they see something new, if they see something brand new, or if they see something good, they will have a tendency to have it. He says it in such way, even after seeing Sita Devi for 10 months. He is mentioning that Vidyate Strishu Chapalya. And but this Sita Devi, even after all those wealths are showed, all those riches are showed, no way she is changing her mind. Her mind, her thought is not moving at all from Ramachandra Prabhu. There, nowhere it goes. So he mentions Dharma me kattado sanakan nalvinai karma me kattado karpin kavalo. Even in that situation, she is maintaining her dharma. She is following her dharma. She is not changing her mind. So dharma eva hatohanti. Whoever tries to eliminate dharma, dharma will eliminate them. At some other point of time, they themselves doesn't understand that. Dharma rakshati rakshita. So whoever protects their dharma, whoever protects others' dharma, then dharma will definitely protect them. So these are words of Dharmaputra in Mahabharatam. And he mentions, I will know in whatever circumstances I will follow my dharma, because that is my greatest treasure, that is my greatest wealth that I have. Because if I don't follow my dharma, then dharma will kill me. Dharma itself will kill me. And dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Those who protect dharma, those who follow their dharma that is prescribed, then that dharma will definitely protect them. So if you see in the case of Ramachandra Prabhu, safely he returns back after 14 years. And after some time we are going to see how Sita Devi's dharma protected her at the right time. So dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Dharma eva hapohanti. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. So Kamba expresses through Anjaneya Swami that arumaye arumaye. This is really beautiful. This is really magnificent. The way in which Sita Devi is protecting her dharma, arumaye arumaye, yaar idu aatruvar, who can do these things? Because no other person other than Sita Devi can be in such chastity in these people surrounding her. Aso dharma me kattado. He is asking these questions. And orumaye. So the single-mindedness, the single-pointedness of always thinking about Ramachandra Prabhu, orumaye. So our patience, so our pativrata dharmam, and the way of having that pure devotion and pure bhakti towards Ramachandra Prabhu, Anjaneya Swami, who got the title from Ramachandra Prabhu himself, that he is the person who has learned all the shastras, he is the person who is well versed in all the languages, he is the person who is well versed in all the dharmas, and that Anjaneya Swami is not able to explain the greatness and explain the state in which Sita Devi is present there. So, Yammainotu Uraikarpalado, meaning that the state and the quality and the character of Sita Devi is teaching Anjaneya Swami things. So he is learning a lesson from us. So he has learned everything. It's what Ramachandra Prabhu gave him a title. But now he is mentioning that Orumaye Yemmainorku Uraikarpalado. People like me are learning from Sita Devi. So Dharma me kattado sanakan nalvine karma me kattado karpin kavalo. So it is her dharma that is protecting her. And Anjaneya Swami concludes by mentioning that there are a lot of people, lot of rishis, lot of sages, lot of munis who have done several kinds of penance. So if you see, they stand between Panchagni tapas is called as. So they stand between five different fires and they do tapas. And there are few rishis who entirely control all their senses, and that is called that through which they do a tapas. And they don't eat at all. So by upavasam, through vratas, there are lot of tapas that are done by lot of rishis. But I consider that all those tapas are really small and less when compared to the Pativrata Dharma of Sita Devi. So if you see, generally all these penances are mentioned or told only for the male in the Shastras. So but you see, then what is the penance for a lady, what is the penance for a female, it is mentioned that her Pativrata Dharma is her penance. And if that Pativrata Dharma is there, and because of that penance, he can build over all the tapasas of all other rishis who have done it things. So, Venkanal Mugiliyum, Pulangal Vikiyum, Nunguva Arunduva, Nikitorvava, Ingular, Pulatil Vande, Yillin Manbudai, Nangayar Manatavam, Namilar Palado. There is a beautiful story in Mahabharatam, where there comes a rishi called Kaushika. And that rishi, he does penance for several years, and immediately when he comes out of his penance, he sees a bird there, a swan there. And immediately on seeing that swan, it turned into ashes, it got burnt. So he felt that his tapas is being fulfilled, and he entered into the nearby village, because since he was doing penance for several years, he is really hungry. And immediately when he went to that village, he went to do Unchuvati. And when he asked for food from one of the residents, that lady present inside told him that I am in another service that I am doing, so you please wait for some moments, I will bring you food after some time. And immediately that Rishi, that Kaushika, since he had that power of burning a person just by his side, he saw that lady with an angry face, with an angry eyes. And immediately she didn't turn into ashes at all. She was still the same. And immediately she questioned, it comes in Tamil, that Kokkendru Nanaithayo Pongalavane. She is asking, oh, you thought that I am like that swan that you burned earlier. Immediately he got shocked and he asked him, I have been doing penance for so many years and obtained this siddhi, this power, where I could burn people into ash, turn people into ashes. And now you are mentioning that tapas and that prabhavam that I showed earlier. So what is your tapas? She mentioned that I regular do my pativrata dharmam and I serve my husband. So that is what she says. So Nangayar Manantavam Navilar Palado, that is the greatest tapas. For several years of penance that a rishi or a rishi does cannot be equated to a tapas of a lady that is her patipratya dharmam. So it is mentioned that who can match her in that way. So Anjaneya Swami is praising Sita Devi and he is not getting down immediately because he is waiting for a proper time where he could have a personal and private conversation with Sita Devi. Otherwise, if the Rakshasi knows, then it will become a bigger problem. So he is waiting for a proper situation. And now the time, in according to Sundarakandam, it is 4 o'clock in the morning. So at that time Ravana wakes up and he comes to see Sita Devi. Immediately, daily he used to do it. Daily he used to come and see Sita Devi there, and somehow he will speak, he will try to change her mind. He will do all those things, but he will not succeed in any of those times. And now he again comes, and on seeing Ravana, Anjaneya Swami, he hides himself in the tree, the branch of the tree in which he is staying. And directly Ravana comes and stands in front of Sita Devi and he starts to speak. Swadharmo rakshasam viro sarvadaivana samshaya gamanamba parastrinam haranam sampramathyava. So he starts to speak. He starts to tell her that you are mentioning about dharma all the time. So whenever I say that abducting someone else's wife, other person's wife, is not dharma. Paradara bhimalshatru nanyat papaharam mahat. There is no bigger sin than abducting the wife of another person. But I tell you what dharma is. Dharma is not one that is the same for all the people. So it varies depending on the people and depending on the situation and depending on the time. So likewise, me being a Rakshasa, I have my own set of dharmas. And if you see, according to my dharma, Gamanamba Parastrina, abducting other person's wife is dharma, and abducting other person's property is dharma. Gamanamba Parastrina Haranam Sampramatyava. So that doesn't become adharma or fault in the case of a Rakshasa. But if they are for other people, then that becomes adharma. For me, it is dharma only. So in that way, I have followed only my dharma. I am also a great dharmatma only. So I follow my rituals, I follow my duties, I follow my spirituality. So everything he is mentioning. So dharme rakshasam viro sarvadaivana samshayaha gamanam va parastrinam haranam sampramathyava. So you can't discard me by mentioning that I am not a dharmatma. So he continues, Bhavamaithili bharyame mohamekam visarjaya Bhakvina muttamaskrinam vamagra bhishi bhava. So you please become my wife. So accept it. So if you accept it, I have all the riches that I have been showing you for several months and several times that I have showed you. You will be the queen for all those wealth and riches. Everything will be submitted to you. So whatever you decide, that will be the command. So whatever you decide, I will follow all those things. Whatever you decide, all the people in Lanka will be following it. Bhava maithili bharyame. So you become my wife. Bhakvina muttamaskrinam. I have married several ladies and several wives I have. And I make you the queen for all of them also. Bhakvina muttamaskrinam mamagra mahishi bhava. Then he mentions, if you accept it, you can enjoy all the wealth that I have. And you don't worry, I will also provide it for your father, Janaka Maharaja also. So I have a lot of wealth. So it will not get reduced at all. Even if I give a portion of it to give as gift to Janaka, then he can also enjoy all the wealth and all the riches that I have. Ayani Vaishravane Shubhru Ratrani cha Dhanani cha. So he says, there are a lot of Ratnas, there are a lot of Dhanas. There are a lot of money, lot of wealth there, and it's not only that which belongs to me, and all the wealth of Kubera also is with me only. So we generally see Kubera as Dhanada, right? A person is not lord of all the wealth, he is a person who gives wealth. But if you see in the case of Ravana, he is not so. The actual name for Kubera is Dhanada. So he is a person who gives it. So that is why when Ramchandra Prabhu is going to the forest, and before that, Valmiki Maharishi compares Ramchandra Prabhu with Kubera. So it is mentioned as Tam Vaishravana Samkasham. So Rama's palace looks like the palace of Kubera because he is going to give all his wealth to Bharata and he is going to go to the forest. So he mentions in that way and he says that I have abducted all the wealth that Kubera had because I won him in battle. I won all other asuras in battle. I have won all the devas in battle and all their wealth are with me. So you don't worry, everything will be yours. So from this, if a portion is given to Janaka also, so he will also be really happy. So you please accept me. Yani Vaishravane Shubhru, Ratrani cha Dhanani cha, Kani Lokanscha. So all those words and all those links that I have won, everything I am submitting at your feet. Tani Lokanscha Shushroni, Maya Bhungshva Yatha Sukham, Vijitya Prachinin Sarvam, Nana Nagara Malinim, Janakaya Pradasyami. I will give it to their father also. So let him also enjoy all the wealth. Avahetor Vilasini. But I will tell you one thing. When you are having a thought and confidence and hope that Rama will someday come and protect you and save you from here, that is never going to happen. So he is not going to come because no one knows that you are in this Lanka. And no one can enter Lanka even in their dreams because on four sides it is surrounded by ocean. No one dares to come and stand in front of me or fight with me, whether the Devas or Gandharvas or Rakshas or whoever it may be. So no one is a match to me and even Rama is also not a match to me. Na Ramaha tapasa devi, na bhalena cha vikramaihi, na dhanena maya tulyaha, tejasa yashasa piva. So if you compare with my penance, with my valor, with my power, with my strength, with my all the armies that I have, no way Ramachandra Prabhu is a match to me. So he can't come. Even if he comes in a battle, he can't win over me and finally he can't save you from my clutches. So the only option for you is to accept me. Riddhima manupashyatvam striyam badre yashasvini. And what you are going to gain because of again going back to Ramachandra Prabhu. There is nothing you can gain because he has been pushed to the forest. He doesn't have any wealth, he doesn't have any riches, and he is just roaming in the forest. So that being the case, what can you enjoy with him? Kim karishyasi Ramena. So what benefit you are going to attain? Again, if you go back to Ramachandra Prabhu, so Brati Sandila Kashicha. So he is a person who has been sent out from his own kingdom, sent by his own father. So look at the sorry and sorrow state in which he is present. So this is a great opportunity for you to come out of that mess that is there in the forest. So again, if you go back to Ramachandra Prabhu, it is not going to be a good life for you. You are going to undergo a lot of hardships and sorrows there. So this is a good opportunity for you. So Nikshipta Vijayoramo Ghatashri Vanagocharaha Brati Sandila Shahicha Shanke Jivati Vanava. So he is somehow trying to change Sita Devi's mind, but for these 8 months, he daily used to talk the same thing. So if you see, it is only one time described by Valmiki Bhagavan, but if you see in Vyakyanas, it is mentioned that daily he used to speak. The same thing is going to be repeated by him. I have all these riches, I have all this wealth, so you could enjoy all these things. So he is trying to somehow change her mind, but he never succeeds. So this is the first time Sita Devi decides that let me speak with Ravana. So for 8 months, she has never spoken a word to him. So whenever he comes and stands in front of her, she will turn her face and she will be looking somewhere else. No, he will just come and whatever is there for him to blabber and whatever he needs to tell Sita Devi, he will be coming and telling it and go. Because according to Sita, everything is blabbering. Because he will never consider these things as so great words from Ravana. So, this is the first time she decides to speak. And since she is about to speak, she is not speaking directly to him. And what she does, Trinamantara Tatkritva Pratyuvacha Suchismita Nivartaya Manomattaha Swachane Priyatam Manaha. So, in order to speak, since for these 8 months she has never spoken, there is no option for her to throw a blade of grass in front of Ravana and speak to him. This is the first time she is speaking, and Mahatmas mentioned that it is because of the compassion that he had for Ravana this time, at least, because there are several people who give him good advice. There is Vibhishana there is Akampana there, even Maricha, when he was given the plan of abducting Sita Devi from Ravana in the forest, he also gave good advice to him. So you don't do this, this is the cause of all your ruins. So that is what he mentioned there also. So you didn't listen to all those good advices through his people. And finally Sita Devi felt, so let me speak to him at least once. Otherwise, there will be few people who will be mentioning that at least Sita Devi could have changed his mind, right? So because she being there, her Sanidhyam should have changed Ravana somewhat. But that is not happening, right? So for that Sita Devi felt, let me speak only once, at least once, let me speak. So for that, she takes a blade of grass and throws in front of Ravana. There is generally no rule that whomever we speak to or have a personal conversation, we should be throwing a blade of grass. That is not there at all. So if you want to speak, you can directly speak. So then why is she throwing a blade of grass in front? Ravana is standing and Sita Devi is sitting there. So since he is a king, he should be respected. But in her situation, she can't welcome him or mention those kinds of words. So as a token of respect, she is throwing this grass. And since he is standing, in order for a token of respect, she should give him an asana to sit. Since she has been saying in Ashokavana for 8 months, Ashokavana has become her place now. And Ravana has been invited here. So that being the case, since if someone comes to our house, we should provide an asana, right, a chair to sit. So she provides an asana. Though all the time Ravana comes and somehow tries to change her mind or somehow comes and tries to speak different things, she doesn't like it at all. So if a person is sitting next to us and is constantly speaking to us, but we entirely dislike that conversation, whenever he comes we dislike it. So that being the case, we would have told him several times that I am not interested in talking to you at all. But still that person will be coming and troubling us and pestering us. So instead of engaging in a conversation, what we will do, through our body language, we will try to convey that I am not interested in talking to you. And that person should at least understand that situation and he should start. Even if he doesn't do, then we have to categorize him in a different category. But here, she is showing through her body language by throwing a grass or seeing somewhere else and not listening to what Ravana is saying. Through her body language, she is conveying everything. So, Trinamandara Tatkritva Pratyuvacha Suchismita, and she is a Pativrata, a chaste woman, should avoid directly speaking to Parapurusha. And since Ravana is a Parapurusha regarding Sita Devi, so she uses it as a screen of separation between Sita and Ravana. So Trinamantara Kritva, like how Gopikas in the Bhagavatam, when they want to speak to Uddhava, they don't speak directly. They speak to a bee that has come there and through which they address everything to Krishna. So they are not speaking directly. And Sita Devi also feels that she should not speak directly to Ravana, so she is pointing to that grass that she has thrown and she is showing that Ravana is just equivalent to this grass. So Trinamantara Kritva, you mentioned a lot of riches and lot of wealth, a lot of money you have abducted from several other kings and several other worlds that you have. All these things are equivalent to a piece of grass to me. So Trinamantara Kritva, you also mentioned that you will be giving it to my father. You know who my father is? He himself is a great jnani. It is mentioned in Upanishads that when the entire Mithila Nagaram got fire, it was burning. And this Janaka Maharaja was listening to Jnana Upadesam from Ajnavalkya Maharaj. He didn't worry about his own kingdom at all. That being the case, how will he enjoy or how will he like all the riches that you give? So for him also, the wealth that you provide will be equal to a piece of grass. So Trinamantara Kritva, till now I have been telling you that what you are doing is not dharma. And I have been mentioning it to you several times. A lot of other people have mentioned it to you. So finally this is my last time that I am mentioning. But you doesn't know to differentiate which is dharma and which is adharma, and you on your own, you consider this as dharma and you are speaking great about it. Since you doesn't know the difference between dharma and adharma, you can't be considered as a human at all. So you are equal to animal. And animals only eat grass. So for that she threw this grass, it seems. So Trinamandarata Kritva Pratyuvacha Suchismita Nivartaya Manomattaha Swajane Priyatam Manaha. I am going to tell some good advice, some good dharmas to you. I feel that even this piece of grass would somehow try to follow it, but no way you will follow it. So Trinamandarata Kritva. You say that Rama is no match to you. You say that you are greater than Rama in tapas, you are greater than Rama in power, in valor, all those things. But you are just inferior to Rama. You are just equivalent to this piece of grass in front of Rama. Tranamantaratah kritva pratyuvacha suchismita. So, and I mention you that you feel that I am all alone here. That is not so. My Prabhu has the capacity to come out of a pillar and protect a bhakta. He came as Narasimha for Prahalada only from a pillar. So that being the case, he is even capable of coming through this piece of grass also. So you be careful. And we say in Tamil that Vallavanukku Pullum Ayudam. So whomever it may be, if he is such capable, even a piece of blade of grass can be as a greater weapon for that person. So likewise, you know how great my Prabhu is. Just a blade of grass is enough for him to invoke Brahmastra, through which he eliminated the eye of Kakasura. So you understand his capability. And while speaking, she even had a good smile on her face, it seems. And for this smile, Suchismita, for the beautiful smile that she had, for that also there are several Vyakyanas being mentioned. Because Ravana showed all the riches and all the wealth to Sita Devi. And immediately, if a person sees that much money, that much wealth, the first thing that he will show is the enthusiasm and the happiness in his mind. And that will be reflected in the face. So he will be happy on seeing it. So if we have a big lottery ticket and we get a lottery for 1 million, then what the way in which we will be, right? So first thing, happy. And Sita is smiling because Ravana is showing all the wealth and all the riches. It is not so. It is because of the dispassion that she have for the wealth and riches of Ravana. She is saying, these are no match to me. I am Sakshat Jagannatha. And for Jagannatha, Lakshmi Devi, you are showing your riches and mentioning that you can enjoy all these wealth. It is because of my kataksham, it is because of my blessing that you are enjoying all these wealth. So a piece of wealth, if we enjoy, it is Lakshmi Devi's kataksham. And for that Lakshmi Devi, this Ravana is showing all the wealth and riches. So Suchismita, she is laughing at it. And she knows that when Vibhishana is going to do Sharanagati to Ramachandra Prabhu in Yuddha Kandam, immediately he will be gowning him then and there itself. So Dattamasya Abhayam Maya. So I am giving you Lanka now itself is what Ramachandra Prabhu is going to say. So knowing that, Sita Devi mentions you are boasting that you are the king of Lanka, but Ramachandra Prabhu is going to do coronation for Vibhishana even before the battle is going to start. And unrealizing it, you are still showing all your wealth, so she is laughing, it seems. Suchismita, Tranamantaratah Kritva, Pratyuvacha Suchismita. And generally, if we enjoy a superior position or if we enjoy superior pleasure, we will not come to one which is inferior. So that is general notion, right? So if you enjoy a great wealth, then okay, I am bored of enjoying these pleasures, so let me go something which is lesser. No person will go like that. Only he will try to improve or he will go to maximize his wealth and pleasures. So I am the wife of Ramachandra Prabhu, who is Sakshat Jagannatha, who is Sakshat Bhagavan himself, and he is the ruler of Ayodhya. How could you think that I will accept you? So if you consider as a normal lady or a normal person, I have enjoyed the superior pleasure of Ramachandra Prabhu being close to him, able to serve him, and how will I come to an inferior person like you who is equivalent to a piece of grass? So Trinamantaratah Kritva Pratyuvacha Suchismita. So she is giving a beautiful smile to Ravana also. And finally it is mentioned that if for a mother, however worst the child may be, she will not show her anger or they will not show her displeasure to the child. So it is mentioned in one of the shlokas of Adi Shankara that Kumata nahi bhavati, kuputro jayeta vachitapi kumata na bhavati. We can say that the child is bad, but no way we can mention that the mother is bad, because the mother will always show her love and affection to the child. So that being the case, however worst the child may be. So here is a worst child called Ravana. And if you see Sita Devi as Jagannatha, for that Jagannatha, Ravana is also a child. And that is why when Ramachandra Prabhu started his big Vijayam to eliminate all the Rakshasas, the first person to object it and the first person to talk in favor of Rakshasas was Sita Devi. It comes in Kandam where she says, why are you planning and why are you making a pratigna to eliminate all the Rakshasas who are really good people? So this is the way in which she asked Ramachandra Prabhu. So that is the heart of Jagannatha and that is the heart of Sita Devi because she is an embodiment of compassion. And the compassion of Bhagavan is shown only through her. And since Sita Devi is present here, she is considering Ravana as a child when she is seen as Jagannatha. So however worst he does, she will not show her displeasure to him. So that is why she smiled. So Namadwaar Houston Pratyuvacha Suchismita Nivartaya Mano Mattaha Swajane Priyata Manaha Nivartaya Manaha. So this is what she says. Nivartaya means reverse your mind. Nivartaya Manaha. So if you reverse the term Manaha, it will become Namaha. In Sanskrit, Manaha, if you reverse it will become Namaha. So without directly, indirectly she is mentioning that I am a person to whom you should prostrate and not a person you should expect or enjoy. So Nivartaya Mano Mattaha, and you have to change your mind to your people. Swajane Priyata Manaha Naham Aupaiki Bharya Parabharya Satitava Sadhu Dharma Avekshasva Sadhu Sadhu Vratam Chara. So she talks to continues her speech where she first, the way in which Ravana started is that he is a Dharmatma. So that is his stand, right? So she says, you are not a Dharmatma. So the way in which you have understood Dharma is really wrong. What you meant that the Dharma differs from person to person. So for a male it will be a different Dharma, for a female it will be a different Dharma, so for a baby it will be different Dharma. So for old person Dharmas will vary. So on the place where we stay, the person who he is, the ambience in which he lives, depending on Dharma varies. But that is right. But you mentioned that it is your Dharma that you can abduct other person's wife, then that is not Dharmata. There is a kind of Vivaham called Rakshasa Vivaham that is mentioned in Shastras, and that is done by our Bhagavan Krishna himself when he is marrying Rukmini Devi. Likewise it can be done. A lady who is not married can be abducted and it is allowed for Kshatriyas that too. And here Sita Devi mentions and that is not for a lady who is already married to another person, so you have not understood Dharma properly at all. And you yourself consider what you do as Dharma, because generally the notion of most of the people are in this way. They doesn't know whether it is Dharma or Dharma. They doesn't see whether they should clarify it or not, and they will say, whatever I do, it is beneficial for me, so that is Dharma. So if something is not beneficial for me, then that is Adharma. That's its simple definition, it finishes there, but it is not so. Ramachandra Prabhu mentions Sukshmaha Paramadhurnyeyaha Satam Dharmaha Plamankhama. So it is very subtle. You can't understand Dharma directly. Just like that, oh, this has been done. So this is my Dharma. Likewise, you can't just define it. That is why Bhagavan says, Tasmat Shastram Pramanante Karya Karya Vyavastito. So whether you want to decide it as Dharma or Adharma, whether it should be done or it should not be done, you have to decide it through the Shastras. Because that is the primary reference. Because our mind or our thought is very emotional. So if we are very emotional, depending on our emotion, our mind and activities will vary. But Shastras are not like that. They are written by great rishis who are really made an effort for the welfare of mankind. They are given it. So only through that we have to understand what Dharma and Adharma is. So Naham Aupaiki Bharya. So you don't know what Dharma is. And you are just blabbering whatever you know. So Sadhu Dharma Avekshasva. What is Dharma? Dharma is what sadhus follow. Sadhu Dharma Avekshasva. Sadhu Vratam Chara. So you are not a sadhu. You are not a Dharmatma, and the actions and activities you do can never be equated to a Dharma and the actions of a sadhu. So Sadhu Vratam Chara. And I feel that the only thing that you are missing is that there is no satsangam in Lanka. Since there is no satsangam, that is association of good people and sadhus are not there for you in Lanka. That is the only reason that you are blabbering. Otherwise you would have understood what Dharma is. But I feel that there should be some sadhu here. Otherwise Lanka can't flourish. There is a shloka in Bhagavata Mahamantra which says, Avaishnavo Hato Desho. If a desham or a land or a country, if it doesn't have a sadhu or a bhakta in that land, it can never flourish. So all the flourishing that happens, all the pleasures and all the wealth, if it increases, it is because there is a sadhu who is following all the dharmas and its routines regularly. Only then a world or a land can enjoy all the wealth and it can flourish. So this Lanka in which you are living, Api Swarnamayi Lanka, what Ramachandra Prabhu also mentions. The Lanka, if you see, all the buildings in Lanka are made of wax. Okay, because Ravana doesn't have fire issues at all. Because he has controlled all the bhutas, he has controlled all the devatas, and the only person who is going to reverse it is Anjaneyya Swami later. So his Lanka will be really massive, really beautiful, and the way in which Ravana has constructed and sculptured the way the Lanka is, if you see in Valmiki Ramayana, he details each and every building there, each and every house there, and each and every people there. So it is really flourishing there, and Sita Devi says, and the reason for that is because there is a sadhu. Iha santo navasanti satova namu vartase tatahi viparitate buddhihi achara varjita. So the viparitam in your mind, the crookedness in your mind, so the blabbering tendency that you have depending on your own, you consider which is dharma and which is adharma, is because you don't have a sadhu here. I won't say in such way. Sadhus are there, you are not going to their association. So there are sadhus. There is Vibhishana there, who is a great sadhu. Because of him, somehow this clan of Ravanas or Rakshasas are continuing. If he is not there, then there is no scope for them at all. So Sita Devi says there are sadhus. Or if they are not sadhus, then this land called Lanka can't flourish. So even sadhus are definitely there, but you are not going to their association. So you are not going to their sangam. So you are not able to understand the difference between dharma and adharma. That is why you are speaking these kind of things. So now, what Sita Devi is meaning? So now, Ravana should search for a sadhu and go take refuge at him, and he should understand dharma. That is not it. She means that there is no other sadhu greater than herself. And the satsangam of Sita Devi is the best satsang for Ravana. So he doesn't go and search for it somewhere else. So she says, I will speak to you now. So I will give you good advice now. At least you listen to what I say. You have been mentioning that you have separated myself and Ramachandra Prabhu, which is not at all possible. So we are always together. So they are Ma Nisha, that they can never be separated. Brahmani Srinivasa, they are Perumal and Taya, can never be separated. So that is what we started in the first day, and Sita Devi mentions here, you can never separate me and Ramachandra Prabhu. Because we are always together. Ayan ananya raghavenaham bhaskarena prabhayata. So she mentions, so can we separate the rays of the sun and the sun? It is not at all possible, right? So likewise, we are like the sun's rays and the sun. In such way, we can never be separated. So, if you see in Tattvam, then we are always together. Even in this avataram, if we look like that we are separated, it is not so. Because even sadhus and Bhagavan can't be separated. So it is mentioned in Bhagavatam as sadhavo hridayam mahyam sadhunam hridayam tuham. So whatever a sadhu thinks, that will be reflecting in Bhagavan's heart. So whatever Bhagavan thinks, that will be reflecting in a sadhu's heart. So they can't be separated in such a way, then how can Tayar and Perumal be separated even when it is an avatar? So she says, Ananya Raghavenaham Bhaskarena Prabhayata. We can never be separated. So you first leave that thought that I have separated, I have abducted Sita Devi from Ramachandra Prabhu. That is not at all possible. And for the first time you are accepted one thing, that Ramachandra Prabhu is not of match to you. So I feel that is true. Now only you have understood it. Still now, he was mentioning that Rama is not a match to me. She is putting it different way. She says that you are not match to Ramachandra Prabhu. So if you have that much penance and if you have that much power and valor and strength, then why did you abduct me when Rama and Lakshmana were not there? So otherwise they could have been there and you could have abducted me in front of them, right? So you fear Rama and Lakshmana. Even Rama fears Lakshmana, it seems. So that is why he waits till Lakshmana also goes in search of Ramachandra Prabhu and then he comes. So that is very evident, that is seen by me, and in front of me you are still boasting that you are more powerful and you are more have more strength than Ramachandra Prabhu. No way it is right. And it is very true. I have mentioned it several times. I have mentioned it to you when you abducted me in the Aranya itself. In that way itself I have mentioned it. So you are no match to him. And finally I say, if you want to be protected or if you want to survive, then there is only one way. I say that definitely Ramachandra Prabhu will come here. He will definitely protect me. There is no other way. He will come. Whether it takes some more time or some more days or some more months, but he will definitely come. And at that time, if you want to survive, if you want to protect yourself, if you want to protect your family, if you want to protect the entire Rakshasa race, then I will tell you what is the way to do it. Otherwise, you can never survive. Your death is sure. So she says, then it is only one possibility. You have to do Sharanagati to Ramachandra Prabhu. You have to take refuge at his feet. Viditaha sahi dharmagyaha Sharanagata vatsalaha tena maitri bhavatute yadi jeevitum ichchasi. So if you want to live, so if you have that interest in your body, because generally the classification of Rakshasas is that they have most interest in their body. So if you see, they do lot of penance and somehow they try to evade death. So they consider that this body is permanent and they need to protect it. So yadi jeevitum ichchasi. If you want to live, if you feel that you want to protect your body, if you want to protect the entire Rakshasa clan, then I say there is only one way. And that is well-known way. Viditaha. Viditaha means well-known, already known. Viditaha sahi dharmagyaha. So he is not an, Ramachandra Prabhu is not an adharmic person like you. So he is dharmatma. He will definitely understand, definitely follows, definitely knows what dharma and adharma is. Viditaha sahi dharmagyaha. And he is sharanagata vatsalaha. He is fond of the people who take refuge at him. He is fond of his bhaktas and no way he will discard them or leave them. So that way he will definitely protect his bhaktas. So viditaha sahi dharmagyaha. He is dharmatma, well known. She is not mentioning the story here and also it is well known. She feels that she should finish the conversation also fastly. Because extending conversation with Ravana is what is, she doesn't need it at all. She is not interested in it. So she doesn't mention what the story is. So she says, Viditaha, it is well known. So that is the example of Kakasura's Charitra, where Kakasura, even after he comes and disturbs Sita Devi's own Shariram, Ramachandra Prabhu, when he takes refuge at Ramachandra Prabhu's feet, he protects him, he saves him, he doesn't kill him. So Viditaha, that is known, and she is not explaining those entire Charitra to Ravana here. She mentions it when Anjaneya Swami comes and meets him. So Viditaha, it is well known. Viditaha sahi dharmagyaha sharanagata vatsalaha, that is also well known. But so now we should see that Sita Devi is asking Ravana to do Sharanagati to Rama. So take refuge at his feet. So entirely submit yourself to Ramachandra. If you see, Ravana can never do that. So he mentions it in Kandam that however great Ramachandra Prabhu be, or whether it may be any other person, whoever great they be, but I will never fall at any other person's feet. In Tamil we call it as Vananga Mudi. So their head will never come and fall at any other person's feet. There are two people, one is Ravana and other is Duryodhana. He mentions in Yuddhakandam, he says that even if Ravana attacks me into two parts, and at moment if I have life at that moment, at that time also will not fall at his feet. Yeshame sahajo doshaha dvija patreyam apitu nanameyam tu karihichit. Sita Devi knows that. As Jagannatha, she should know that how her child will be. So what she does, so you don't need to go and take refuge at his feet. Sharanagati is not there for you. That is for Vibhishana, he is going to do it. But for you, I will tell you another option. It is not only Sharanagati that is required. Tena maitri bhavatute. So if you are not having a liking or not interested in going and falling at his feet, taking refuge at his feet, I will give you another option. That is Tena maitri bhavatute. At least to go and have a friendship with Ramachandra Prabhu. He will accept it. He will discard all other adharmas that you have done, that you have abducted me, you have troubled me here for these 8 months. He is not going to see any of those. He will entirely, at that moment, he will forget all those things. He is mentioned Artova, Dhrittova. So that is what reflects when Vibhishana Sharanagati happens. So he mentions to Sugriva, Vibhishanova Sugriva, Yadiva Ravanaswaya. Even if Ravana is waiting behind Vibhishana, you please bring him also here. So you don't immediately ask for a meeting and check whether I should bring the Ravana again or not. So meeting is not because of what Ramachandra Prabhu expects. It is because for the Vanaras who objected accepting Vibhishana. So Ramachandra Prabhu's mind is really clear that he is going to take Vibhishana into his side. But for the other monkeys' point of view, Vanaras' point of view, he conducts a meeting and he gives it fair for all the people that he has also obtained opinions from all those people also. So that is why there was a meeting there. Otherwise, Vibhishana was already accepted by Ramachandra Prabhu. So, but when Sugriva is going to call him, he mentions to Sugriva that Vibhishano va Sugriva. Hey Sugriva, it is only Vibhishana, right? Even if there is Ravana behind him, Yadiva Ravanaswaya. If even he comes, immediately don't come rushing to me and mention that Ravana has also come. So should we have a meeting now? No, you yourself give him Hadayam. You yourself show that Rama will definitely accept you, bring him also. So Yadiva Ravanaswaya. So that is what Sita Devi mentions here. Tena Maitri Bhavate. At least you doesn't need to do Sharanagati to him. You at least go as a token of friendship to him. So if you go as friendship, he will accept you. Tena Maitri Bhavatuke. So that is the only option for you to survive. There is no other option, and he will never, otherwise he will never forget all the bads and all the adharmas that you have done. But if you go as give a hand to him and as a token of friendship, if you go to him, he will immediately forget all the adharmas. He is such a person because he considers it as a great help for him. So Katanchit Upakarena Kritena Yekena Tushyati. That will be the greatest help for Ramachandra Prabhu, because Bhagavan is always finding options to somehow lift us from this samsara. So he is finding some many ways. So that is why if you see he has given all the Shastras, he has given lot of Mahatmas, he himself takes lot of avatars. All these things are done, all the efforts Bhagavan does is that to uplift the jivas from the samsara in which they are taking again and again, they are being born and being dead. So this happens as a cycle, right? In order to uplift us from this cycle only, Bhagavan is making all those efforts. So if we could be of some help to him, is that we listening to this Ramakatha. So if you listen to Ramakatha, come to satsang, have Bhagavan's darshan regularly, it will be an easy way for Bhagavan to take us. And we should say that Bhagavan is helping us. But the way in which Bhagavan mentions is that he is mentioning that we are helping Bhagavan in that way. So there is a small child in the house, and daily whenever it needs to take bath, it will be troubling the mother. Pudichi okara vechi to make that child that if that child is such way, daily disturbing. And one day if that child comes and says, mother, it's already time. Why didn't you call me for the bath? If that child says in such way, then that is of benefit to the child only. Taking bath daily is benefit for the child. But the mother will consider, you have done a great help for me. So it is of no way of help to the mother at all. What is going to happen for that mother? But she is insisting, she is expecting, she feels it as a help for her, right? So likewise, if you come to Bhagavad Katha, if you listen to Bhagavad Gunas, if you chant Bhagavan Nama, Bhagavan considers that as a help for uplifting a jiva from this samsara. So he wins, he gets victory in that way. So it is Katanchit Upakarena Kritena Yekena. At least this small help if you do, Nasmarati Apakarana. Apakara means all the adharmas that we have done, all the sins that we have committed, all the sins that we have loaded through our earlier janmas, everything will go vanished. He will not see any of those. Katanchit Upakarena. That small help he requires, that small push from our side, if that is there, even if it is not there, somehow he is going to grab us. Because he says there is no other option for a jiva. He can't escape from the clutches of Bhagavan, whether it may be this janma, next janma, the 10 janmas that is still there. But at least in one janma, he will definitely reach Bhagavan's abode. There is no other way at all. So he says, Mahimamsho Jivaloke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. As long as jivas are going to be here, I am also going to try for their upliftment. So it's going to happen. So Bhagavan feels that way, and he says, even if there is Ravana, you bring him also, because I will not see all the doshas or the faults or all the adharmas that he has. So, Yediva Ravana Swayam, even if Ravana is following, please accept him. So, Sita Devi mentioned it before itself. So, it is going to happen in Yuddhakandam. So, knowing what Ramchandra Prabhu will be speaking, knowing what Ramchandra Prabhu's mind is, she is mentioning it now itself, but there Ramchandra Prabhu mentioned for Sharanagati. But here Sita Devi is mentioning for friendship with Ramachandra Prabhu. Tena maitri bhavatute yedi jeevitum ichchasi. So if you want to live, then this is the only option. So till now Ravana has been listening to all these things slowly, but immediately he got anger on seeing these words of Sita Devi, and immediately he goes to kill her. He rushes in such a way, and next to Ravana there is her wife called Dhanyamalini. So immediately she pacifies Ravana, she composes him, and she also gives an indication to Sita Devi that there is no danger for you, you feel safe. And immediately on hearing these words of Sita Devi, Ravana gets really angry, and he asks her and mentions that I will give you 2 months time. So only 2 months are left. So it is 8 months, right? So it is going to be 2 more months. So only 2 more months are there. If you don't change your mind, then you are going to be my breakfast on the next day. So this is what he instructs all the Rakshasis, and all the Rakshasis are also, he mentions that if you somehow force her, somehow talk in such a way or try to change her mind in that, she will accept me. On listening to all these, Ravana returns back, and Anjaneya Swami from the top, he is listening to all these words of Ravana and the conversation between Sita Devi. When Ravana returns back, all the Rakshasis again join together. They circle Sita Devi and they constantly talk harsh words to her. They say, how can you speak to Ravana in this way? He is the king of all the gods, he is the controller of all the words. That is how the shlokas are. He says that he is capable of controlling the sun, he is capable of controlling the wind. If you see in some kavyams, it is explained that the waterman in Ravana's house, the person who regularly puts the water for water, is Varuna, it seems. So Devendra is the security, it seems. So Surya Bhagavan is the heater, and Vayu Bhagavan becomes the cooler. So that is the way in which they explain that Ravana has controlled all the Devatas, and he is so powerful. And this Rakshasi is constantly speak about those, but she is listening to all these words. But only one thing that entirely pushes her to the ground is Ravanam Bhaja Bhartaram. They speak that you have to accept Ravana as your husband. You have to accept Ravana as your husband. And she boldly speaks to them that whether my Dinova, Rajyahinova, Yome Bharta, Same Guru. My Ramachandra Prabhu is my Guru. My Ramachandra Prabhu is my savior. My Ramachandra Prabhu is my protector. My Ramachandra Prabhu is my husband. Whether he is devoid of wealth or whether he is the king of the entire world, Dinova, Rajyahinova. Whether he is helpless, whether he is hopeless, whatever may be his condition. That is never a worry for me. I have been given in marriage to Ramachandra Prabhu by my father. From that day onwards, he is my Lord, he is my Devam, he is my Guru. Yome Bharta, Same Guru. This is how she speaks, and again all the Rakshasis somehow try to change her mind, and there comes a Rakshasi called Trijata. So she is somewhat sadhu when compared to all other Rakshasis, because she is the daughter of Vibhishana, and this Trijata, until now she was sleeping. And when she woke up in her sleep, she had 2 dreams, and she is coming to explain what those 2 dreams are. So immediately she stops all the Rakshasis. So you don't understand who this Sita Devi is. So you don't know how great she is. Just now I realized who she is, and in those 2 dreams, the first one is that Ramachandra Prabhu and Namadwaar are coming to Lanka. They are fighting Ravana, and they are winning the battle, and they are finally Ramachandra Prabhu and Sita Devi joined together. This is the first dream. And the second one is Ravana is being killed, and he is taken in the southern direction, that is to Yamapattanam he is being taken to, and Vibhishana is going to be crowned the king. So if you see here, in these 2 dreams, she tells what is going to happen. And she mentions in this tree there is a monkey also who is sitting and watching all the things that is happening. So that is also there in the dream. And she says that Sita Devi told Ravana that if you want to live or if you want to survive, you should do Sharanagati or go in friendship with Ramachandra Prabhu. Now this Rakshasi Trijata speaks about the greatness of Sita Devi. So Sita Devi spoke about Ramachandra Prabhu. Now, the greatness of Sita is being spoken. Pranipata prasannahi maithili janakatmacha alamyesha paritratum rakshasir mahato bhayat. So since Anjaneya Swami is sitting on the tree and watching all the disturbance that these Rakshasis are creating to Sita Devi, she is cautioning them, you are going to get a big fear now, because he is there, he is waiting there. So Rakshasyo Mahato Bhayat, so Mahat Bhayam, a big issue or problem or fear is waiting for you, so be careful. I mentioned how, I will tell you how great this Sita Devi is. Pranipata prasannahi maithili janakatmaja. So if you want to know the greatness of Perumal, you need Tayar there. So Tayar is who is speaking about the greatness of Ramachandra Prabhu, and it is because of Tayar's helping Vibhishana, he got the darshan of Ramachandra Prabhu. It is mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana, because when he is travelling in the skies, Sita Devi sees him and asks Trijata who he is. And she mentions that he is my father. My father has been pushed by Ravana out of the kingdom, so he is going and seeking refuge at the feet of Ramachandra Prabhu. For that he is going. So immediately Sita Devi does a beautiful kataksham to him that Ramachandra Prabhu should accept it. So that is the reason why Ramachandra Prabhu accepted Vibhishana without any questions. So if you want to see in the case of Sita Devi, that is Taya here, she alone is enough, it seems. So for Perumal, Taya is needed for him to show his compassion and for him to accept that Bhakta and protect him. But in the case of Taya, Alamesha, so she alone is enough. Alamesha paritratum rakshasi mahato bhayat. So for that what we should do? So for Ramachandra Prabhu it is mentioned that you should go and seek the refuge at his feet. Or you should go in friendship to him. So what should be done in the case of Sita Devi? Something should be done, right? Some action should be done. That is called Pranipata. So first one is Sharanagati. So second case is Namaskaram. And third case is Anjali. And fourth one is Pranipata. Pranipata means unknowingly falling down. So, if you see Sharanagati, we have to have that all the qualities that are needed for Sharanagati, and you should know that the Lord to whom we are doing Sharanagati is great. So, you must understand how great he is, and we should do Sharanagati. So, first one is Sharanagati. And next one, so whenever we come to temple, we do Namaskaram to Perumal. So, that is second category, Namaskaram. If we are not able to do Namaskaram, we do Anjali with folded palms. And fourth one is Pranipata. Pranipata means we are coming in this way. When we are coming, unknowingly something hit our leg and we skipped and fell down. That is called Pranipata. So, Guru Maharaj gives a beautiful example for this. He says that a child, after completing its school, it is rushing from the van to the home. So, when it is coming in such way, it will be holding lot of books, a lot of heavy weights will be there for it. And when it is running to see its mother, immediately the kid unknowingly fell down. So immediately what should the mother do? It should think, oh, whether it is Sharanagati that the child has done, or whether it is Namaskaram, or he didn't call me at all, or whether it is Anjali. So you should think like that, right? The mother will not think immediately that when the child fell down, the automatic action of the mother will be she will start to run. Whether the child called or not, whether the child cried or not, whether the child again stood up or not, those things are never a consideration for a mother. She will immediately rush, right? Likewise, Tayas. So, Pranipata, unknowingly if we fall, she will immediately rush to us. So, she will not see whether it is Sharanagati, whether it is friendship, whether it is Namaskarams or Anjali. Abha, I call him. So, in Kalokili we used to say, hey, call meaning that unknowingly, at least do it. Least at the minimum that we can do. If that is done, Taya will accept it. And there is a beautiful shlokam in Gunaratna Kosham. It is done by a Mahatma called in Sri Lanka. Parashar Bhatta, he says, whenever he goes and sees the Tayar in Ranganayaki Tayar in Sri Lanka temple, always her head will be focusing down. So, Tala Kunjan Rupa. So, he gets a bhavam that on seeing Ranganayaki Tayar, why are you always facing your head down? You are feeling this way, why are you not seeing me directly? So he writes a beautiful shlokam which says, Aishwaryam aksharagatim paramam padamba kasmaichit anjalidharam vahate vidhirya asmaina kinchit uchitam kritamitya bhamba Tvam lachate katham aha ayam udara bhavaha. So a bhakta has come to Sita and immediately what he does, he does Anjali exists and he is praying for something. So what Ayar feels that just we have raised our hand and showed our Anjali, she feels that our hands will pain. And immediately what she does, she is not worrying what we are asking at all. She is giving us everything. Aishwaryam, Aksharakatim, Paramam Padam. So what are all the wealth that we need? Aksharakatim, what are all the high positions that we need? Paramam Padam. Even if you want Vaikuntham, the gates are open. So she gives all these three things just for an Anjali. Kasmai Chit Anjali Bhar. She is not seeing that whether he is a great sadhu, whether he is a bhakta like Tyagaraja Swami, whether he is a sadhu, whether he is a spiritual practitioner person. Those things are not that. Even if he is a greatest person who has committed great sin, even if he does Anjali, for him also moksha is guaranteed. So Aishwaryam, Aksharakatim, Paramam Padamba, Kasmai Chit. So he is not mentioning who that person, Kasmai Chit. So someone, whomever it may be, however he may be, whatever he may do. So Kasmai Chit Anjali Bharam. Bharam means weight. So she is considering this Anjali that why is he suffering so much, and so I am ready to give whatever he wants. And she feels that that is not enough for him. So that because of that lajja that she is having, her head is down. So Pataliye, it's not enough for this bhakta, I think. So she has given the maximum, that is Vaikuntham. Beyond that there is nothing to give. And she feels that that is not enough for this Anjali that he has done for a moment or for a second, for 2 seconds which he has held there. So it will be painful for him. So for that I am giving everything. And if there is something that I can't, or I feel that it is not enough for that Anjali that he has done, so her head is down. She is looking down. So that lajja that she is having, and she is looking down, it's Tvam lajjase. So Rakshasis, she is asking all the Rakshasis to go and at least to fall at her feet. Because Mahabhayam Upasthitam, big fear is waiting for you. Not that Ramchandra Prabhu is going to win Ravana and finally he is going to come and teach you a lesson. No. This monkey that is sitting on top of that tree, if it gets down, that's it. That is enough for all of you. So you be careful. So Pranivata Prasanna hi Maithili Janakatmaja Alamesha Paritratum Rakshasi Mahato Bhayat. And when this Trijata spoke about this dream that in which she saw Ramachandra Prabhu, Sita Devi, she is really starting to cry because she has been waiting for Ramachandra Prabhu for 8 months and she is not getting any of the answer for that. And even for this Rakshasi, she could see Ramachandra Prabhu at least in her dream. But I am devoid of that bhagyam also. So where should she go? She starts to lament, she starts to cry, and she feels that she is completely lonely now. There is no one for her. At least till now she was having some hope, and that is why that made her to speak to Ravana in this way. But after that she is losing all her hope and she couldn't know what she could be doing, so she is all alone. And she does so entirely, she starts to cry, she is really suffering, she is really shivering, and she starts to talk to Ramachandra Prabhu. So she says, I thought that the day that Ravana abducted me, at that moment, I thought that you will come and protect me. But it didn't happen. And since on the way I was shouting, Rama, 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 this is the way I cried and I shouted. I felt that on hearing my words and my shout, you will come and protect me. At that time also you were not there. So at least after Ravana brought me to Lanka, that day you will come and protect me. That didn't happen. So I waited for next. For 3-4 days you will come, I thought. So for 1 week I thought, for 1 month I thought. Now 8 months have passed and I don't know where you are, about your whereabouts, whether you will come or not, whether you are alive or not. Or else if 14 years have completed, I will return back to Ayodhya thinking about Bharata. So where are you? Are you making any efforts? Are you thinking about me? Or do you like me? Or do you entirely left me that you can't find Sita Devi at all? Or whether you have lost all your hope. So she starts to cry. Ananya Deivatvam Iyam Kshamacha Bhumaucha Shayya Niyamascha Dharme Pativratatvam Vikharam Mameram. All my dharmas and all my chastity and all my patience and all my strength, hope, bhakti, devotion, nothing is there to help me. Ananya Deivatvam. Other than Ramachandra Prabhu in my life, I have not thought about any other person. He is my guru, he is my Deivam, he is my husband. and he is everything for me. So ananyadaivatvam iyam kshamacha, and this patience with which I am holding my breath, I am holding that hope, everything for that Ramachandra Prabhu will be coming, right? So I am not getting any answers. Ananyadaivatvam iyam kshamacha bhumaucha shayya. So I am not asking for a costly bed, or I am not asking for all the pleasures to sleep or eat. Bhumaucha shayya, I am sleeping on the floor. Niyamascha dharme, I have not tasted a drop of water from Ravana. I have not tasted a drop of food from Ravana. So iyam kshamacha bhumaucha shayya niyamascha dharme. So all these vratam, all these niyamas, all the rules that are pativrata I follow, they are not protecting me. They are not giving us any help or support to me. Pativratatvam, this pativrata dharmam that I am following is of no help now. Ravana has given me 2 months time to live. So from this moment onwards, if I live, it is because of Ravana has given me life. So I am living the life that Ravana has given me. So that can't happen. So till now, I am living because of Ramachandra Prabhu. Since he has given me a time limit of 2 months, so if I survive after this, then it is because of Ravana. So this life, what a picture I have. So it is that it has been given by him. So I am not ready to live. Kritam kritagneshviva manushanam. So he decides that I will lose my life. So this is my last day. So this is my last moment. So immediately what she does, she is sitting under some other tree. She is correctly coming to the tree on top of which Anjaneya Swami is present. And it is particularly mentioned Sakanda Tasya. So Anjaneya Swami is sitting on that tree's top. And she is correctly coming to that Simsupagatam Urbhadya Venyuddhati Dena Shigram Aham Gamishyami Yamasya Moolam. So I am ready to go to Yamaloka now. And my big hair that she has, so she is going to tie it to the tree, and as a rope, she is going to lose her life. And when she decides it, Anjaneya Swami is seeing from the top, right? He feels really grateful and blessed that he is there at that moment. So if he had come few days later, Sita Devi would have already been gone. So he feels, I am there at the right time. So he spoke that dharma eva hato hanti dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Her dharma is protecting her. Otherwise, it would not have brought Anjaneya Swami at the right time to sit on top of that tree, and Sita Devi also was brought to that tree. So Anjaneya Swami did not have any hesitation that the Rakshasis would have noticed it. So to the same tree, Sita Devi also comes. And that is what Anjaneya Swami feels really grateful. I am there at the right time. Perfect time. So he feels that what is the way that I would protect Sita Devi now? Stop her from doing this suicide. So what is the way for that? So immediately he thinks, so what can he could immediately jump. He could immediately say that I am Rama Bhakta, I am Rama's servant, I am Rama's messenger. But that will not give her the confidence and the hope. And if he immediately takes the ring and shows to her, that will also not give her hope, because she is living in the place of the Rakshasas. Since she is living in this position, so the Rakshasas are capable of doing magic. So they can take whatever form they want, so they can bring whatever object they want, so she will never have hope of whether if Anjaneya Swami jumps in front of her, if Anjaneya Swami gives the ring. So now he thinks that there is only one hope or one thing that can protect Sita Devi's life. It is Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jeevanam. So in order to provide life to Sita Devi, which is about to go, so it is going to be Rama Katha. So from the top of the tree, he immediately with loud voice, he tells Rama Katha fully. Raja Dasharatho Nama Rajapunjara Vachiman Punyashilo Mahakirtihi Ikshvakunam Mahayashaha Raja Dasharatho Nama. In one chapter, entire Ramayana till the moment Anjaneya Swami sitting on top of the tree is told. Earlier in Trijata's dream, the future story of Ramayana is also told. So this shows that in Sundarakandam, we could see the entire Ramayana. So beginning portion is told by Anjaneya Swami to Sita Devi, and the future remaining portion that is going to happen is mentioned through Trijata's dream. So entire Ramayana is covered in Sundarakandam. And when Anjaneya Swami returns back to all the Vanaras who are waiting for him there, he tells the entire Sundarakandam there. So if you see in Sundarakandam, there is entire Sundarakandam. There is entire Ramayanam also there. So he mentions entire Ramayanam, and when he is chanting, when he is telling that Rama Gunas and Rama Katha, so Sita Devi is searching where that voice is coming from. So she didn't expect it here. It's a big shock for her because the only thing that made her to survive was that Ramanam that she was chanting, and on happenings that happened now, she even lost that hope then. She is about to live her life, and immediately from someone's voice, from somewhere else, if she is listening to Rama Gunas, so look at the situation in which Sita Devi is present. So she is really shocked, she is searching for that person, and when she is looking on top of the tree, Anjaneya Swami is getting down. He is getting down from the tree, and the first thing that he does, he removes all the doubts of Sita Devi. He immediately falls at her feet. That no Rakshasa will do. Even the Rakshasas to whom Trijata gave all the advice, I don't think all those Rakshasis would have done. At least one or two would have done after compulsion from Trijata. But look at Anjaneya Swami, he is well learned. He is older than Sita Devi. He is a minister of Sugriva. He has come as a messenger now. He is a minister. He is well learned. He knows all the Shastras. He is given a title from Ramachandra Prabhu. But knowing how great that Devi who is in front of him is, that is called humility. That is called as humbleness. And we were speaking about the embodiment of Dharma, Ramachandra Prabhu, embodiment of chastity, that is Sita Devi, and embodiment of humbleness, that is Anjaneya Swami. So he immediately falls at Sita Devi's feet, and that gives us some content, because this is not an act of a Rakshasa. Because of their Swabhavam, they will be raising their hands or showing some weapon that they have, and they will never fall at a person's feet. So she gets some confidence. And he immediately says that I am a Vanara, I am Vayuputra, I am Anjaneya, and I am messenger of Ramachandra Prabhu. Second confidence. Now Sita Devi feels that she could have conversation with him. So she asks, Vanaranam naranam cha kathamasi samagamaha. So you are a Vanara. So that being the case, how did you get the association of Ramachandra Prabhu who is a Nara, who is a human? So Vanaras and humans, how can they have a friendship? So Vanaranam naranam cha kathamasi samagamaha. So Anjaneya Swami tells the detailed story of Kandam here. And he beautifully mentions that it is because of your blessings. If you had not thrown all those ornaments on top of Rishyamukha Parvatam, you could have thrown it anywhere else. You could have thrown it before Rishyamukha or after Rishyamukha, anywhere you could have thrown, but you specifically threw it on top of Rishyamukha, right? So it is because of your blessings that we got the darshan of Ramachandra Prabhu. So you already decided that we will be getting it. So you threw it there. So he mentions all the stories. So Sita Devi gets some confidence, and he mentions that all the Vanaras have been sent by Sugriva in all the directions, and we came in the south directions, and there are several Vanaras in our side, and I am the only person who came here, and you understand that I am the least person in all those Vanaras. Mattaha pratyavara kaschid nasti Sugrivas, and all other Vanaras who are there, who haven't come here, are more powerful and more greater than me. And I am the least person, because in order to send a person as a messenger, then the least person in the group will be sent. So since I have been given this activity, you have to understand that I am the least in the entire Vanara group. Mattaha pratyavara kaschit nasti Sugrivas. This much humbleness even gives more confidence to Sita Devi. And again she asks him, have you seen Ramachandra Prabhu? So how he is. And Anjaneya Swami gives a detailed description of the entire form of Ramachandra Prabhu, which shocks Sita Devi, because she has felt that she is the person who would have done that much dhyanam of Ramachandra Prabhu's form, because each and every day he explains Ramachandra Prabhu's entire form from head to the feet. And Sita Devi, he has done even more greater than dhyanam of Ramachandra Prabhu's form than me. And finally, after providing all these references, after providing complete confidence, after providing complete strength to Sita Devi, now he takes the greatest reference that Ramachandra Prabhu gave to Anjaneya, that is the ring. So Anguliya Pradhanam, so he gives that Anguliyam, that is the ring, to him. Vanaroham Mahabhage Duto Ramasya Dhimataha Ramanamam Kitam Chedam Pashya Devi Anguliyakam. So you please see this ring. So he is not giving to her. If he gives, his hand will be on top and Sita Devi's hand will be at the bottom. So he is asking Sita Devi to take it. So that is why it is Pashya. He is showing. So the value of the ring, the value of Sita Devi. So if you are going to give to a person who is superior to us or who is elder to us, so we should not be giving to them. We should be showing to them. So they should take it. So that being the case, he is showing Ramanamankitham. And what is greatness about this ring? Ramanamankitham. It has the Ramanama in it. So that should be valued, right? So he is showing Ramanamankitham cha idam. There are not 10 or 20 rings there. There is only one ring. And why should he mention this ring? So there is something in mentioning this ring. If there are 10 rings, then if he shows, then you have to show him that this is that ring which I am mentioning. And it is mentioned the idam, Ramanamankitham cha idam. Why he is showing this particularly? Because he wants Sita Devi to understand the greatness of Ramanama. It is not Rama who has come and saved you first. It is Ramanama that has come to your protection initially. So Ramanamankitham cha idam. That is for Ramanamam and that is for that ring also. So if you see from Alva's Pasuram, he mentions that when Ramachandra Prabhu lifted the Shiva Dhanush and he placed it vertically, Sita Devi was seeing from her balcony there. And the first thing that she saw was the ring that Ramachandra Prabhu was wearing in his hand. So that ring is this ring. So Ramanamankitham cha idam. So that ring which will give you lot of memories, the way in which how your marriage happened, the way in which you met Ramachandra Prabhu first. So the first reference or the first thought that would bring to Sita Devi is the day in which she was given in marriage to Ramachandra Prabhu. So it will remind you that memory. So it is that ring. So Ramanamankitham cha idam Pashya Devi Anguliyakam. With folded hands, he gives it to Sita Devi and with folded hands he saw. And Sita Devi is taking it, she is placing it in her heart, she is placing it near her eyes. So she is really curdling it and she is mentioning Grihitva Prekshamana sa Bhaktu Kara Vibhushanam. So what that ring is? It is Kara Vibhushanam. It is an ornament of the hand. Bhaktaram Viva Samprapta. The hand ornament has been obtained by her. And what is her feeling and what is the bhavam in which she is accepting it? Bhaktaram Viva Samprapta. Ramachandra Prabhu has come already. So it is only his chaya that is going to construct a bridge and fight with Ravana and all these things are going to happen. But she has already obtained her Bharta. So Bhartaram Iva Samprapta Janaki Mudita Bhavate. She is really happy. Sarama Sankirtana Gita Shoka Ramasya Shokena Samana Shoka Saranmukhe Shambuja Shesha Chandra Nivesha Vendeka Sudha Babhuva. She is really happy and what she should do, at least she should talk in praise of Anjaneya Swami at least now, right? So she thoughts to speak about Anjaneya Swami. Vikrantasvam, Samarthasvam, Prajnasvam, Vanarottama Yenedam Rakshasapadam Tvaya Yekena Pradharshitam. So your power, your valor, your mind, your buddhi, your samathyam, all these things show that though you mentioned that you are the least of all the vanaras, but the activity and the actions that you have done shows that you are the greatest. So the actions show. So the way in which he speaks, his humility is such that, but the actions he has done, no one is capable of doing it. So Yenedam Rakshasa, she is mentioning it vaya Yekena Pradarshikam. Only you could have done it and only you are the perfect person, because if you are the only person who, that is why Ramachandra Prabhu chose you. So he gave that ring only to Anjaneya Swami, right? There are several vanaras there, but he gave it to Anjaneya Swami because he knows that only he can do it. Yenedam Rakshasa Padam Tvaya Yekena Pradarshikam. And Sita Devi, she asked how Ramachandra Prabhu is he eating properly, is he sleeping properly, how he is taking care of his health. So she is enquiring all those things, and Anjaneya Swami, he tells everything directly. He didn't keep anything as secret, he mentions everything directly. He says that he is not sleeping properly, not eating properly, so he is not having good conversation with all the people. He is always sitting inside that cave where he used to, and he is always thinking about you, he is always chanting your name, he is always thinking about you. There is no one else around him, and at least sometimes myself and Lakshmana used to go and somehow make him, force him to eat, force him to sleep. So this is the way in which he is. So Sita Devi mentions Amritam Visha Sampriktam Tvaya Vanara Bhashitam. So it is like you have given to me both Amritam and poison at the same time. So that my Bharta, that is my husband Ramachandra Prabhu is always thinking about me is like Amritam. And at the same time, he is not taking care of his body, he is not sleeping, he is not eating, all those things are like poison to me. So Amritam Visha Sampriktam Tvaya Vanara Bhashitam, and she asks, is Ramachandra Prabhu making any efforts to somehow save me from these Rakshasas? Or he is just sitting? This is the question that she asked. Because for 8 months she didn't get any answer at all. So she is asking, is he making any effort? The answers of Anjaneya Swami is always beautiful. He says, I am standing in front of you. What else can be the answer for that? I am standing here. Then these are all his efforts. This none is mine. So he mentioned that I am going as Ramachandra Prabhu's arrow yesterday. So I am Ramachandra Prabhu who has said, from his bow I have come here. So the efforts are not mine. All the efforts are his efforts. So that is why I am standing in front of you. So you don't worry. So you don't lose hope. He is always thinking about you. He is always trying to approach you. Since he has not known your whereabouts, he is not coming for a fight here. He is not coming and waging a war with Ravana. If I go back and mention to Ramachandra Prabhu that you are here and I have found you, immediately he will start from there, and you don't worry. He will even somehow cross the ocean. He can build a bridge, or he will remove the entire ocean at all, make the entire waters to go vaporize all the waters, and he will somehow come to Lanka, and he will definitely kill Ravana, and he will definitely accept you, and you are going to join with him very shortly. So somehow you hold hope, so you don't worry. But if you are very eager or very fast to go to Ramachandra Prabhu, why are you waiting for Ramachandra Prabhu to come? I have already come. You can sit on my back and I will immediately take you there. And Sita Devi asks Anjaneya Swami, are you capable of doing it? The question of whether a thing is impossible is never there in the dictionary of Anjaneya Swami at all. So immediately he feels shy, his head went down. And he says, Valmiki Bhagavan says, Navam Paribhavam Kritam. Why did Jagannatha Sita Devi ask me this question? That impossible, that's never there at all. All the thinking, crossing the ocean was impossible. But the impossible task has been Dushkaram Nishpratidvandvam Chikidishan Karma Vanaraha. When Valmiki Bhagavan says it is impossible, but possible for Anjaneya Swami. And he is mentioning, I have crossed and come here, and why are you asking this question? So he feels shy and he drops his head down. But Sita Devi somehow pacifies him, and because it is Asadhya Sadhaka Swami, Asadhyam Tavakim Vada. Even the things that are impossible are made possible. So there is nothing impossible for Anjaneya Swami, but she beautifully gives him an answer. It is not that I am hesitating to travel on your back, or I am hesitating that you are not capable of it. It is not so. But no way I should steal the glory of my Prabhu. So, if I come with you, then if in the future whoever tells Ramayana or speaks Ramayana, they will be telling that Ramachandra Prabhu tried several efforts, made several efforts, but he couldn't. Finally, when he met Anjaneya Swami, so that being the case, that should not happen. All glory should be there for Ramachandra. Otherwise, she would have burned Lanka. She is mentioning to Ravana that if you don't adhere to what I say, what advices that I give, don't wait for Ramachandra Prabhu. I am there. Asandeshattu Ramasya tapasaschanu palanate natvam kurmi dashagriva bhasma arhatejasa. Even my power, my capacity is enough, my tapas is enough, my patimartyam is enough. I will turn entire Lanka into ashes. Bhasma arhatejasa. But with that capacity, she is patient. So that is what we should note there. So with all those capabilities, she is silent. If we have a small thing that we have graduated, or if we have learnt something, we jump from sky to the earth. But Sita Devi, with all those capabilities, is silent because it is the way in which to protect Ramachandra Prabhu's glory. That is what Valmiki Bhagavan says. He mentions Mamito Krishya Gacheta Tattasya Sadrisham Bhavet. So Sadrisham, which will be apt, which will be power, is Ramachandra Prabhu coming here, eliminating all the Rakshasas and then accepting me. So that is be apt, that will be perfect. So me doing it or me going against it is also not proper, or you making me to go and taking me to Ramachandra Prabhu will also not be apt here. So that way she convinces Anjaneya Swami, and she gives her Chudamani to Anjaneya Swami, so that if you see Chudamani is a head ornament, and Kara Vibhushanam is what the ring is. So Anjaneya Swami gave his Kara Vibhushanam, so that he showed Abhayam to Sita Devi, and Sita Devi accepted that Abhayam of Ramachandra Prabhu through her head ornament. So we do Namaskaram with her head. So she is submitting her head ornament, so that it is a Namaskaram that she submits her prostrations to Ramachandra Prabhu, and she asks Anjaneya Swami that you can wait or stay here for 1 or 2 days, eat all the fruits and the vegetables that are there in this Ashokavana, and enjoy your stay here for some time and go, because she needs some company. Because till now she had no one to speak about Ramachandra Prabhu, so she felt if you are here, it's okay. But Anjaneya Swami is always in the action and the work that needs to be done. So he feels, instead of staying here for this one day, as Sita Devi has asked me to stay in Lanka, let me meet Ravana. She has given me permission to stay. Because Artantare Buddhihi Nishchitapiha Shodate Ghatayantiha Karyani Dhutaha Panditamanyaha. A messenger as a way and as a limit and a purpose in which he should work. He can't do all the activities. So first, he could have searched Lanka without all other people noticing him. Because the first priority of his is to find Sita Devi. So since that has happened, second priority is to speak with her. Third priority to get some identifications from her so that she is Sita Devi. So all these things have happened. So now we can do our work. So the mentioned work and mentioned activity is completed. So we can go beyond the limit now. So she crossing the limit. So because that is also not simply he is doing, he needs to know the power and capacities of the Rakshasas. And if he goes back again to Ramachandra Prabhu, and if Ramachandra Prabhu asks how the Rakshasas are, I didn't get those news and all. So I'll again go back, cross the ocean, get. So that way he can't function, right? So he gets answers for all the questions, and he wants to meet Ravana there. But in order to do that, so he wants to grab Ravana's attention, right? So the first thing he does, he destroys entire Ashokavana. Nothing is left there. Only the tree, which Sita Devi used to say, that alone is there, and the entire Ashokavana he destroys it. On immediately news goes to Ravana, he sends 10 Rakshasas first. So then 10 Rakshasas come, he just hit them with each other, and Anjaneya Swami finished all those 10. And afterwards, Ravana feels that somewhat this monkey should be some powerful. So I will say he sends his 5 commanders. So he sends 5 ministers' son. He sends a Rakshasa called Jambumali, and he finally sends his second son Akshakumara, and all these people are killed by Anjaneya Swami, and half the battle is over. So Rama Ravana Yuddham, a portion of it is over here itself. And Anjaneya Swami is really enthusiastic. So immediately he sits on top of a pillar there, and immediately he shouts, Jayatyadi Balo Ramo Lakshmanascha Mahabalaha Raja Jayati Sugrivo Raghave Nabhibalitaha Dasoham Kosalendrasya Ramasya Krishtakarmanaha Hanuman Shatru Sainyanam Nihanta Marutatmajaha. So he sits on top of the pillar with both hands raised. He shouts, Jayatyadi Balo Ramaha Jai Ho for Anjaneya Swami, Jai Ho for Ramachandra Prabhu, Lakshmanascha Mahabalaha Jai Ho for Lakshmana. And for his own king, Raja Jayati Sugrivo, so Jai Ho for Sugriva. And he immediately turns back, there is no one. Because he himself can't say Jai Ho for himself, right? So he sees there, no one is there. So he himself tells for him also, Dasoham, that is not Jai Ho. He mentions that I am the Dasa of Ramachandra Prabhu. Dasoham Kosalendrasya, servant of Ramachandra Prabhu. Kosalendrasya Ramasya Krishta Karmanaha. You understand that I am Hanuman Shatru Sainyanam. I am capable of eliminating all the enemies and all the Shatrus. Nihanta Marutatmajaha. How many Ravanas are there? Only 1, 2, 3. Even if there are 1,000 Ravanas, let them come. Na Ravana Sahasram me Yuddhe Pratipalam Bhaved Shilabhischa Praharataha Padapaischa Sahasrashaha. Let only one is there, right? That's all. He is definitely gone. If he comes and stands in front of me, he is finished. So if there are 1,000 people, let them come. If there are 1,000 Ravanas, let them come and fight with me. I am ready and I will eliminate all the 1,000. So immediately Ravana, he gets angry, and immediately he comes for a fight with Anjaneya Swami, and that time Indrajit comes and stops and he mentions, why are you going for capturing a monkey and all? You are a great king, so you stay, I will take care of it. And Indrajit goes for war with Anjaneya Swami and he is also about to lose. And at that time he felt that only Brahmastram can save him and he attacks Brahmastram on Anjaneya Swami, but none of the astras of the devas will affect Anjaneya Swami because those are boons that he got when he was born itself. So the Brahmastram ties around him as a rope and he is brought in front of Ravana's court. And Ravana, on seeing Anjaneya Swami, he gets up from his seat. And seeing him gets up because the tejas and the power and the valor, everything that Anjaneya Swami possesses, immediately he stood up. Even Anjaneya Swami is seeing Ravana and he is really shocked. Look at how tejas he is, how he is glittering, how well learnt he is, his face, everything can be seen from his form. So Aho Rupam, Aho Dhriti, all these he even praises Ravana also. And Ravana gets a doubt and thinks Imesha Bhagavan Nandi, whether, I think this is not a monkey, I think this is Nandi Bhagavan who has come from Kailasa. Or Nandi has another meaning that it is Parameshwara himself. So or whether it is Parameshwara. So otherwise an ordinary monkey can't do these kind of acts. And he immediately asks, who are you? So what is the reason you have come? Ravana can't speak directly because of the king, he can't directly speak with a messenger. So he asks his minister to speak to him and immediately he says that I am servant of Ramachandra Prabhu, I am the minister of Sugriva and I have come as a messenger of Ramachandra Prabhu to meet Sita Devi. And I want to give you few advices. So if you want to survive, the only way for it to give back Sita Devi to Ramachandra Prabhu, because you are no match to him at all. And it is very evident, Janasthanavadham Buddha Valinascha Vadam Tatha. So immediately on seeing Anjaneya Swami, what will be the first doubt that could have come to Ravana? The first doubt is whether it is Vali or not. Because he has got, literally he has been tarnished by Vali. And if you go into those stories, if you see in Kamba Ramayana, he explains it beautifully. But if you go, we don't have time. So Ravana has a fear towards Vali. So on seeing Anjaneya Swami, he gets a doubt whether he is Vali or not. So immediately Anjaneya Swami says that Anjali, you don't worry, I am not Vali. Happy, you are not Vali, right? Then who you are? Vali has gone. Tenchina, Vali, Neela, and Vali has already gone. Oh, gone now, has he gone for a tour or a vacation? No, he has gone to the upper worlds. He is not in this world at all. Oh, who killed him? So how many days the battle went for? So how many people fought with him? Only one person. One person. What are all the weapons that he used? Only one arrow. So Janasthanavadam Buddha Valinam Chavadham. There are 14,000 Rakshasas were also eliminated by this same person. And one Vali whom you considered as so powerful and so great, he was also eliminated by that one. So who is it? He is Ramchandra Prabhu. And you have abducted his wife. So what you should do is you should return her back to him. And not that Ramachandra Prabhu is so powerful, Ramachandra Prabhu is such and such. I am not mentioning those things. Sita Devi is so powerful. So he mentions Yam Siteti Abhijanasi Yeyam Tishtati Te Grihe Kalaratri Titam Vidhi Sarvalanka Vinashini. You understand that she is a venomous snake whom you are brought to this Lanka. And she will eliminate the entire Rakshasaris. Sarvalanka Vinashini. So the best option for you is to give her back to Ramachandra Prabhu. She herself can eliminate Lanka, but I don't know why she is waiting. But if Ramachandra Prabhu comes to Lanka, then I am sure that you all will be eliminated because Sarvan Lokan Susamhritya Sabhutan Sacharacharan Unareva Tatha Srishtum Shabdo Ramo Mahayasha. You know what his capability is? Just a bow, just a arrow, you leave those things. These are for this avatar. But if you generally see who he is the creator, he is the sustainer, and he is the destroyer. Sarvan Lokan Susamhritya. So this word is present now, right? If he thinks, he can immediately absorb all the entire worlds. Susamhritya, and what he does, if he decides, he can create them again. Sarvan Lokan Susamhritya Punareva, he can do it again and again and again. Sabhutan Sacharacharan. So understand his capability. and you are not capable of fighting him at all. Yo Ramam Pratiyudhyeta Vishnu Tulya Parakramam. You understand? Valmiki is subtly, this is the place he explains that he is equivalent to Vishnu. Vishnu Tulya Parakramam. And whatever you do, you are not a match to him at all. And you feel that because of your tapas, because of your valor, and because of your devotion, you have got the help of three people. So because of penance, he got the help of Brahmadeva. Because of his devotion, he got the help of Parameshwara. And because of his strength and power, he got the help of Devendra. So all these people, three people, Brahma, Devendra and Parameshwara, will not come and fight if you have a battle with Ramachandra Prabhu. So it is not possible for you to win over Ramachandra Prabhu at all. So this is the only way that you have to give back to him. But understand that what I say is the bitter truth. You have to understand it. Satyam Rakshasa Rajendra Shunushva Vachanam Mama Ramadasasya Dutasya Vanarasya Visheshataha. He gives three reasons that what I say is truth. Shunushva Vachanam Mama Ramadasasya. Since I am Ramadasa, Rama's servant, I will not speak which are lies. So whatever I speak will be true. Ramadasasya Dutasya. So I don't have personal vengeance between the two sides because I am a Duta, I am a messenger. So my dharma should be conveying what the news that was conveyed to me from one side to the other side. So I can't take sides now. And third one, I am a Vanara. So you are a Rakshasa and Ramachandra Prabhu is a human. I don't belong to these two groups. I am a third person here. So somehow you understand what I say. Satyam Rakshasa Rajendra Shunushva Vachanam Mama Ramadasasya Bhutasya Vanarasya Visheshataha. Jambavana, Maharyam has told Ravana, Akampana has told Ravana, and now here Anjaneya Swami has told, even Sita Devi has told. Will he listen to any of those words? Not at all possible. So immediately he got his krodham, immediately it is coming out, and he immediately ordered to kill Anjaneya Swami, and Vibhishana interfered, and he told that a Duta can't be killed. So at least you can give him some punishment, that is allowed, but he can't be killed. So immediately Ravana thought that the most favorite, most liked part of Anjaneya Swami's body would be his tail. So he will keep fire to it. So immediately he decides it, and Anjaneya Swami's tail, fire is kept on his tail. So what will happen? If fire is kept on his tail, so it will be, he will entirely burn Lanka. That is what will generally happen. Not because of the capability of Anjaneya Swami. So it will immediately burn up everything, an ordinary monkey. And if you see Anjaneya Swami, what he thought when fire was kept on his tail, he felt that entire Lanka, he was searching entire Lanka during the night only. So now he has a great light source here. So with the light source, tail as his light source, he could go into each and every building of Lanka and have a detailed view of everything there. So he immediately jumped and he went from each and every building, and everything was turned into ashes. And immediately what he did, he got a thought, Sita Devi is also there in this Lanka. How can I do such things? And immediately few devas who are traveling this day, they mentioned entire Lanka is burning except Ashokavan. So that is what they mentioned. And this is a proof for Sita Devi's chastity. So in the Yuddha Kandam, Ramachandra Prabhu need not ask Sita Devi to do Agni Pravesha because the entire Lanka is burning, and Sita Devi is doing a prarthana that the tail, the fire should not cause harm to Anjaneya Swami also. So she mentions Yediva Ekapatnitvam Shito Bhava Hanumataha. So all these are the proofs that Sita Devi is chaste, and he gets a confidence that Sita Devi is also safe. So he gets her respects, and he comes back to the side where all the monkeys are. So they are eagerly waiting for Anjaneya Swami, and immediately when he comes, they give a big chandana vriksham. They cut a big chandana vriksham and place it as an asana for him and asks him to sit. And the first thing that they mention is Aho Swaminite Bhakti. So these things were done. All these things you have done is because of, not because of his strength, power, his buddhi that he has. No, not because of those things. It is because of the bhakti that he has towards Ramachandra Prabhu. So Aho Swaminite Bhakti, Aho Dhritihi, Aho Viryam, Aho Dhritihi. So all these things are mentioned later. So immediately here Anjaneya Swami mentions the entire story from his thought from Mahendra Parvatam. From there he completes everything, and again all the Vanaras along with Angada, Jambavan and Anjaneya Swami, they enter a place called Madhuvanam because they have succeeded, so they need to celebrate. So they went for celebration, and a person there, Dadhimuka, who is the security for that Vanam, Madhuvanam, there immediately he goes and mentions it to Sugriva, and Sugriva orders all the Vanaras to come back, and meanwhile he mentions to Ramachandra Prabhu that since they are celebrating there, surely someone in that group should have met Sita Devi, and I definitely 100% mention that it is only Anjaneya Swami. He also mentions it there, and all the Vanaras come to meet Ramachandra Prabhu. How happy they would be, how pleased they would be. They came and they stood in front of Ramachandra Prabhu. Anjaneya Swami is coming at the back. All the Vanaras who haven't done anything, they are different. And immediately, because Ramachandra Prabhu is not sure that who would have done it, right? So he asked what happened, where is Sita Devi, explain to me. So immediately they all turned. So Anjaneya Swami, you are the person, you should come and explain, because you are the person who have gone there. And Anjaneya Swami, point of wisdom, he didn't mention his sahasas and all the great things, the things that he did. He mentioned Drishta Devi Amrutam Vachanam Amrutopamam. Drishta Sita, Drishta Devi, that's it. Kandanan Karpinik Ani Kangala. So nowhere in front of Ramachandra Prabhu he didn't mention all the bravery things that he did. Nowhere he didn't mention about Mainakam, he didn't mention about Surasa, he didn't mention about the Simhika, the way in which he entered. Those things are not there. Why should Ramachandra Prabhu know those things? So initially he started with Anjaneya Swami's humility and humbleness. So even while explaining to Ramachandra Prabhu, generally if you do a small thing, you will be making a big boasting that but he doesn't mention any of them because he knows what Ramachandra Prabhu is expecting. He needs an answer now. So he mentions Kandanan, I have seen her. And Ramachandra Prabhu should not get a doubt that he didn't get it as a news. So he himself should have seen as a proof, right? So Kandanan, whom did you see there? So the next question, Sita Devi means, the next question, how is her chastity? How chaste she is? So Kalpinik Ani, why are you asking chaste, whether she is chaste or not? If you need a form for chastity, then that is Sita Devi. If chastity is wearing a garland, then that garland is Sita Devi. So Kandanan Kalpinik Ani, how? Only we can see through the eyes, right? So Kangala is mentioned very common. Why is that unnecessary word then? Then can we see through our ears? We can see only through the eyes. So Kandana Kalpinik Ani Kangala. Not through Anjaneya Swami's eyes, through Sita Devi's eyes. So, through Sita Devi's eyes, on seeing Sita Devi's eyes, I understood that she is Jagannatha, so she is Sita. Confirmed. Second confirmation, the way in which she is crying, the way in which she is lamenting, the way in which she is suffering your separation, shows that she is still chaste. So, Kandala, I am able to see your Rupam in her eyes. So that she is chaste. So Kandana Kalpanik Angi Kandala Drishta Deviti Vachanam Amrutopamam. Immediately what will Ramachandra Prabhu do? He immediately stood up, he gave a big hug to Anjaneya Swami, and he mentions that there is nothing else I can give to you. There is nothing else. Mano Bhuyaha Prakarshati Maya Kalamimam Prapya Dattastasya Mahatmanaha Idam tu mama dinasya mano bhuyaha prakarishati. So when we started Sundarakandam, we mentioned that Anjaneya Swami is a exact perfect guru. So Hanuman Samena Guruna. So if you see, both Ramachandra Prabhu and Sita Devi is the Jivan and Ramachandra Prabhu is the Paramatma. So both of them can't do anything in reciprocation for the Guru for what he has done. That is what this shows. And when Ramachandra Prabhu hugs Anjaneya Swami, even Anjaneya Swami hugs Ramachandra Prabhu because that is his opportunity now. Because if you see in Krishna Avataram, it's a regular one. But Rama Avataram is very rare. So getting a hug from Ramachandra Prabhu is really a great, medal. So immediately Anjaneya Swami also hugs. So this shows that only if the Guru leaves Bhagavan, then we can attain him. So Ramachandra Prabhu says, Idam tu mama dinasya. I am helpless and hopeless now. How can he mention that now? He has got the answer for where Sita Devi is. I have got that answer. But Yediyasya Priyakhyatuhu, for the answer, that the beautiful words that which Anjaneya Swami came and conveyed to me. So what that I can do in reciprocation for that? Maya Kalamimam Prapi. He says for lifelong there can be only one thing, that is of giving this hug, because whatever Ramachandra Prabhu gives, Anjaneya Swami will accept because as a prasadam. But Anjaneya Swami should cherish what Ramachandra Prabhu should give, right? So then that is only this Alinganam from Ramachandra Prabhu. So with this we will complete our Ramayana lecture series for 9 days. We complete with for Pattabhishekam reason we have completed till Paduka Pattabhishekam, and for greatness of the Bhakta we have completed Sundarakandam. So for 9 days by the grace of our Guru Maharaj and our Perumal, it is a great blessing to say Ramakatha in front of our Srinivasa Perumal, because for 1 month our Guru Maharaj during Corona time he was doing Ramayana Katha in front of this Perumal. And another thing is that entire Ramayanam is a Mangala Shasanam for Srinivasa Perumal only. So that is the way we started it, and he has been listening it for 9 days, and all of you are coming here listening it for 9 days. So generally when we complete Ramayana, we used to say a swasti, that let all the auspiciousness be come to us. So we will pray to Bhagavan that we will be blessed with peace, shanti, and whatever prayers that we have, whatever requirements we have, so whether it may be wealth, job, marriage, or whatever it may be, the most important and required thing is Atma Shanti and peace. And so let Bhagavan and our Guru Maharaj bless us with all those things. Janaki Kanta Smaranam, Anjaneya Swami ki Jai, Sadguru Maharaj ki Jai.